Good evening and welcome to the Pioneer Valley Regional School District School Committee meeting. It is Thursday, September 11th, and I will call the meeting to order at 6:04 p.m. We have all members that are present. And do we have citizens' comments? Seeing none? Okay. Yep. So moving on is the approval of minutes. On the agenda, it has the May 22nd, 2025 minutes, but we've already accepted those and they are posted. So that was an error. So we will just be reviewing the 8/21/2025 minutes. Okay.
All right. Let me move this forward. Okay, page 1, item 4, reports. Item B, that starts with superintendent, line 1, 2, 3, 4. CPAC is spelled SEPAC, and that's in 2 lines, the 4th and 5th line. Sorry, a line above that, line 3. The decision not to hire an early childhood coordinator due to the HCGIT financial crisis. That's it. On that page. Should I keep going?
Yeah, you can keep going.
Page 2, top box. There are some.
I actually had a question.
Yeah.
When were you appointed as director of finance?
When I started or when I was appointed?
Well, for some reason I thought you were at the last meeting
I was,
as the director of finance.
yes.
Yes.
But I have Jordan Burns down there as the director of
Oh.
finance. So I was
I was actually curious about that.
Oh,
too.
Jordan.
He may have been at the meeting
was
too,
there.
but there was no report, financial reports, but I'm pretty
Correct.
sure that
It was me.
Taffy was there and,
Yes.
anyway,
Okay.
my apologies. I just realized I gotta change my template when I was.
All right, on page 2, the top box, there are a few corrections to the spelling of names. Amy Carney. Amy is AIMEE. Carney is CAIRNEY. Ashton McKnight, ASHTYN, and McKnight is MC, uppercase K. That's it for me.
Okay. Any other changes or amendments? Okay. I will accept a motion to accept the minutes as amended.
So moved.
Second. Okay, all in favor? All against? And then one abstention. Okay, one abstention. Great. Okay, thank you. All right, student reps. We will follow up with them about getting the schedule. So that will go right into my chair report. So the Student Advisory Committee, I've met with Ms. Scanlon Amy, and we have set up Wednesday mornings for the Student Advisory Committee. That is when the students are available. So that's when we will be having our Student Advisory Committee meetings. Anyone who is interested in joining us, let me know. It's going to be like 9:20 in the morning until about 10 o'clock. We did briefly meet about a week ago. They had some questions about the 6th town. They would like to be involved and have some voice in that. And so we are working with them on what that could look like. The other thing is we have begun and started our strategic planning team for the strategic plan for the district. We met on Tuesday. It was a wonderful kickoff to have everyone in the room. We have a great group of families and community members who are here. Graciously, Patricia has put together a survey that is going out to all families and community members. The town of Bernardston and the town of Northfield have already posted it on their town links, so community members can click on it and take the survey. Can we share?
129.
Yeah, so as of right now, so the link went out this morning, this early mid-morning, and we have 129 responses already. So we are getting responses, we are getting feedback for our planning team to look into. So it's a really exciting process. I think those are my two, Student Advisory Committee and the Strategic Planning
Great.
team. I think that's
Okay.
it.
I have a few. Well, school has started. Opening days, those are the days before kids come back. Lots of great workshops for educators, time for folks to be in their classrooms, time for folks to collaborate. And before I say another word, I'd like to draw your attention to this happy picture. I went up to speak with Principal Scanlon Amy this afternoon, and lo and behold, look who's in her room. And here's why this is an important photo. First of all, happy principals who are collaborating with each other. We have shifted. We're finally gotten there. Good people. I'm borrowing Albert's phrase, good people.
Good people.
Good people. I have said to you many times at this table, my initial years here have been so focused on operations and finances. We can now shift over truly to instruction and programming. That means I am no longer running weekly administrative team meetings for hours in the morning. We're going to meet about twice a month as a full team, and otherwise there are teaching and learning meetings. And I will not be attending all of those because we have Ms. Steinitz, who will run teaching and learning. Sometimes they're elementary, sometimes they're everybody. She's meeting regularly separately with Annie for secondary teaching and learning, and the principals are meeting separately. So this is a big shift, right? It frees up some of my time because I'm not preparing these admin meetings. And we are just trying so hard to focus now that we've got operations and finances not all done, but in such better shape. Now we can talk more about instruction. And so that's why I am, just also because what great colleagues they are for each other, right? Okay, hey, that PVRS band, first place in the Franklin County Fair. Good for them. Beginning of year forms, we talked about it before. Our strategy worked. Like the families got their beginning of year forms done and done quickly. So much easier for the administrative assistants. They're not having to chase people down. Thank you, Pioneer families. Fire drills, we're on target for getting those done at the beginning of school. We have our first emergency safety drills, which are different from fire drills, all set to go. Homecoming starts tomorrow. Ms. Brennan, am I right? There are maybe 4 different athletic events tomorrow?
Yep, I think there are.
And there's going to be a pep rally tomorrow, and then next week is Spirit Week. Is that correct? Do I have that right?
I don't know about Spirit Week. Next week is the homecoming dance. I know
Next week
Saturday.
is the homecoming dance.
Usually they do Spirit Week with the pep rally. I don't know.
Okay.
That's a good question. I know that we all have colors that we need to wear tomorrow.
Tomorrow, yeah.
Okay.
Which I love it.
Yep.
I love that.
Yep.
It just makes it so much
Yellow.
easier.
If it's black,
Yeah.
I'm really good.
It's black. I'm in.
Oh, I got it covered.
Yeah.
So homecoming, lots because there's a policy that says that I need to approve all student fundraising activity requests, and that's good. It helps us make sure that everything is in line with the law. Those have been coming in fast and furious. All the classes in this school are doing some kind of fundraising, so bring your cash, buy some snacks. They're selling little beads, doing tattoo things. Everybody come up to Pioneer tomorrow afternoon. Hey, the DC trip, we'll talk about that later. The numbers have gone up. 46 kids are traveling to Washington, D.C. How fantastic. This little school, we got 46 kids who will have a life-changing experience with each other. Thank you to our community for your support. And that's it for me.
Okay, great. All right, Director of Finance and Operations.
Yay.
Hello. Just before I get into my report, so I've been 1 month on the job, and it has been busy, to say the least. Last week, I went to a MASBO conference of new school business administrators, and that was really valuable to be in a room with other new business administrators, and we all kind of had the same questions, the same concerns, so it was really good. The panels were great, lots of knowledge, which was good. I've been meeting with Patricia formally weekly, sometimes more than that every day, depending on what's going on. And I've been meeting with Cammie Lamica, who is my mentor, and she's also our district treasurer. She's been spending like 4 or 5 hours with me every Tuesday, and I'm exhausted at the end of the day, but she is really great. I met with Joe Scanlon, who is our fiscal overseer. I saw him this week, and that was just kind of a greet, how's everything going and whatnot. So it's been a busy month, but it's been great. So my report. Per our school committee policy, we conduct an annual audit, and when the audit is completed, we send a copy to both the school committee and the select boards of our members' towns, and the auditors present their findings at a school committee meeting. Last year, it was done in December. Scanlon and Associates, the district's auditors, just finished their field work in our offices. I think it was late July. And we anticipate a timely completion and presentation of the annual audit later this fall. So on to the expenditure report. There are negative balances in multiple lines, all of which will be brought forward for action at upcoming school committees, and that will be through budget transfers. We anticipate state approval of our entitlement grants for FY26 by the October-November meetings. So we are busy getting those submitted and budgets in. As we move some salary lines onto grant lines, many negative balances will be eliminated, and that will make me happy. Revenue, through August 31st, 2025, we have received $1,788,105.52 in FY26 revenue, and this represents 11.75% of the budgeted revenue through 16.71% of the fiscal year. Budget transfers, I'm not requesting any budget transfers at this meeting. Once the entitlement grants are finalized, I'll have a better picture, and I will request the budget transfers. Lunch report. We have an operating loss of $16,021.10 for the month of August, which makes sense because we only had 3 days of school, and we had to supply a lot of costs to get school started. Startup costs include food purchases and labor for meal preparation. The district, through Cheryl Brown, will submit claims for federal and state reimbursements in mid-September, and we'll receive those reimbursement revenues in late September, early October. So you will start to see that debt come up. And then through August 31st, 2025, food services had a total year-to-date operating loss of $20,609.46. Any questions?
No, not seeing any. Thank you. Okay, our first order of business. I would like to introduce to you Jennifer Regan. If you could please come up to the table.
It won't be bad.
I told her that this will be painless. So this is fine. Yep. So this is our executive assistant to the superintendent and to the school committee and assistant treasurer. We want to welcome you warmly.
Thank you.
So all of our emails that we have received from Jen, this is the face to the name.
Got her colors correct.
She's got the colors correct. Yes,
well.
exactly.
Well.
Yes, she's wearing. Yep. She's wearing her Pioneer colors. So we just wanted to do a brief introduction, welcome you, put a face to the name.
Great. Thank you so much. It's really nice to be with you all here tonight, and I look forward to working with you. Thank you.
Likewise.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Thanks.
Thanks.
Thank you, Jen.
Yeah. Thanks, Jen. Okay. Great. All right. Next, overnight field trip requests, the wilderness engineering at PVRS.
Yes, so you approved a great class back in, when did you approve the program of studies? In March? Wilderness Engineering, it's a one-semester course run by Joshua Friend. And they work on the engineering standards that are outlined in the Mass curriculum frameworks. And Mr. Friend, Ms. Scanlon, Amy, and I are requesting approval for an overnight, we're calling it a field trip, and policy requires that you provide approval. They will stay on this campus. They will be out in the woods. I have spoken with our insurance carrier. We have a great insurance carrier, because when I send these questions like, Chris, do you think we could build an indoor skateboard ramp? He tells me about his skateboarding experience and how wonderful it is for young people, and then he gives me a long list of what we need to do to keep people safe and keep our liability down. Same thing with this. And not only our carrier, but their loss underwriter got in on the act, saying how beneficial they thought this kind of outdoor activity would be. So the general idea is that Mr. Friend, and I believe Ms. Tominski will be the second chaperone, would be outdoors in the woods. The date, they requested a date change to 10/24/25, which is actually better for Mrs. Scanlon, Amy, and for me. Yeah. Much better. The kids will put into real-life practice some of the skills they have been learning in class, including primitive shelter construction, building fire with friction, doing some outdoor cooking, and some navigation using, I don't totally understand it, natural things and engineered tools. So there would be 9 students involved. This is, yes, if one hopes it's not cloudy on the evening of October 24th. Chaperones, I've gotten a waiver from our attorney. We've got the insurance company's list of, hey, make sure you've got these things in place, taking care of medication plans, making sure there are fire extinguishers on site. We'll let local PD know. We'll let other kids know. Don't bother them. You know, this is a great experience. You stay away. What else is important to know? Yeah. I'm bringing Ellie. Ellie and I are going to walk the perimeter late at night. I am really excited. We are excited about this. I hope school committee, you are excited, and I would love to hear your questions. And please be, multiple sets of eyes. What are we not thinking of in terms of keeping kids safe?
Make sure they have good sleeping bags. 10/24 could be pretty cold. I love that they're gonna all the kids are gonna get CPR and first aid training. That's really cool.
Thank you for saying that. The, Wild Med, it's going to be free. Oh, it didn't print on the back.
Mine.
Oh, mine didn't print on the back.
Mine didn't.
All students in the wilderness engineering class will complete CPR first aid training 2 weeks prior on 9/19/25 through an in-school program offered at PVRS.
I wonder if Mr. Friend and maybe a student or two would come afterwards.
Yes.
Love to hear
Yes,
about
that's
it.
a great idea. I'm sorry about that. Yes, all of the students in that class will be certified in CPR/first aid. Thank you. I think it's a week or 2 weeks. Now it's going to be a month if it's the 24th before this event. So not only will the 2 chaperones be certified, but the students will as well.
That's great.
Is there a cost?
No, to that certification?
No, to the field
No.
trip. There's
No.
because it's all okay.
This is just really, reading it, I was like, wow, what a great experience for the students, and how exciting for them to learn about building their own shelter and doing all of the things, finding clean water and, cooking. I think it's pretty amazing.
Right, our little preschoolers last year out behind Dickinson Memorial Library last year, learning how to build fire with flint and roasting marshmallows. Now our big kids are sleeping out in the woods. I think that folks who do have the printing on the back, there might be
I was gonna
proposed.
ask Melissa.
sure.
If you would read the motion.
I would like to make a motion to approve an overnight activity on the PVRS campus for the students of the Wilderness Engineering course to take place on a weekend night in October 2025.
Okay. All in favor? Okay, great.
Thank you so much.
Awesome. Okay, air quality sensor at BES.
This is a repeat of the request that Northfield made to have a sensor installed, a FERCog sensor installed at NES. Bernardston Select Board, you have the letter, has requested a similar installation at BES. Dr. Martin, I don't know if you might say a few words about the importance of these sensors and the threat that particulates pose to young people.
Yes, and people of all ages. So, though very invisible to the naked eye, particulates of a certain size, 12 microns or so, are ones that can become create inflammation in the lungs and other negative body responses. And these are not ones that we can sort of, lick our finger and put up to the wind or smell, but they really do affect health and do affect the ability of people to have healthy experiences outdoors. And unfortunately, with climate change, these are becoming more common and are not necessarily from our local area because of prevailing winds. So very grateful for all involved who made this kind of sensor possible. It's not to scare folks, it's just to inform us of what's happening with air quality and to do so in a reliable way. So thank you.
Nice.
Great. So I request a motion to install an air quality monitor provided by the Franklin Regional Council of Governments on the exterior of Bernardston Elementary School.
So moved.
I'll second that.
Okay, all in favor? Okay, unanimous. Great, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, gifts to the schools. So last meeting, we talked about the Washington DC trip, and we had a funding shortage of $1,300. And we decided to move that money from the field trip line, but that was going to significantly reduce the amount of money in the field trip line. And so we sent out an appeal to the community, and we have a very generous anonymous donation of $1,300 that was made to support this trip. So I would like to move and to accept, I will accept a motion to accept the donation as presented and to deposit the money into the PVRS student activity account to fund expenses related to the PVRS field trip to Washington, D.C.
So, I'll second that.
Okay, moved and seconded. All in favor? All right.
What a
Thank
nice
you.
thing. That is
Isn't that
so
a
generous, yeah.
wonderful,
Yeah.
what a wonderful community we have. Thank
Yeah.
you.
When I read
Wonderful.
the memo,
Yeah.
I was very heartwarmed. Just warmed my heart.
Yeah,
The
Yeah.
generosity to
yeah,
for someone to support the students.
yeah.
To go on this.
Yep.
That's great.
Yep. It's excellent. Okay, policy review. So we only have one policy tonight, which is policy JH, student absences and excuses. The residency forms we are tabling.
This is a second reading. You have discussed this policy before. This is, as discussed during your first reading at the last meeting, this is a cleanup. You approved in the student handbooks the addition of serious injury as a reason for an excused absence, and we need to make sure that district policy is parallel to the handbooks. Hence, the addition, you can see it in red text in the memo. And then on the back, the proposal is that should you approve, the policy would become effective on 9/22/25.
Okay. I will accept a motion to approve policy JH, student absences and excuses, to be effective on September 22nd, 2025.
So moved.
All in favor?
Thank you.
Okay. Any abstention? Or were you in favor? Okay. That was unanimous. Okay. Great. HCGIT update.
Okay. All right, Taffy and I will tag team it on this. So this is our insurance trust that we are a member of. We have remained in frequent communication with other local districts, with some of our elected officials, including in particular Senator Comerford, Representative Sabadosa, who's from down south in the state. So many of our elected officials, as I'm sure many of you know, are working hard on this. Taffy and I participated today in 2 online meetings. One was the monthly meeting of the Hampshire County Group Insurance Trust, and the other was a meeting that the Group Insurance Commission, the GIC, hosted, and to which were invited all of the members of the HCGIT. I have some concerns about the speed with which the HCGIT is sharing concrete plans for swift improvement. I will leave it there. There are not many options should we choose to seek another insurance group for next year. And you've heard this before, the GIC has a statutory deadline of December 1st for new units to indicate interest, and that is a statutory deadline. They made quite clear in their presentation today that there is no wiggle room on that. I think there were about 50 people who are representing members of the HCGIT who participated in the GIC phone call. Michelle, you were on that call as well. Please feel. Yeah, we were on. I saw Ken Bordewick's name. We had a long call with Jane Dutcher, chair of the Bernardston Finance Committee, after Taffy and I did. Andrea Lamas, Northfield Town Administrator, was on the call. I saw some fellow superintendents on these calls. So what is the import here? We are working hard to gather information. We are signed up for a call next week with Maya, which is probably the only other insurance trust that could be a viable alternative should the district seek to leave the HCGIT. Maya is the insurance trust run by the Mass Municipal Association, and we're on a call with them. Michelle, I don't know if you'll be on that call also next week. We have, as a group of superintendents, we have a call scheduled with Joe Shea next week as well. He is the executive director of the HCGIT. A few of us, including Principal Annie McKenzie of Hadley and Principal Darius Modestow of Frontier, are taking a leadership role in gathering people, sharing information. We had a very productive call with Linda Dunleavy, who is the executive director of the Franklin Regional Council of Governments, FERCOG. She has put together a terrific question and answer sheet of questions she posed to the HCGIT and their responses. There needs to be conversation with our union colleagues about all of this. We received an information request from an attorney from the MTA asking the district for 2 pieces of information. The first was whether we have an IAC, an insurance advisory committee. We do not. And the second was whether the district had adopted MGL Chapter 32, Sections 21 through 23, or some portion of Sections 21 through 23. We have researched that. In May of 2017, this body entertained that idea, and this body did not adopt Chapter 32, Sections 21 through 23. David Young from Warwick voted in favor, 2 people abstained, and the remainder of the committee opposed.
Sorry, could I ask
Yeah.
what those sections?
Yes, this. The import of this is Chapter 32, Sections 21 through 23, if adopted, allow the district, due to rising costs, to switch to the Group Insurance Commission without going through traditional collective bargaining. Okay? So, as I understand it from our attorney, but we are all learning so much so fast, right? I believe, and if our union colleagues want to check this out with the MTA to corroborate, or my understanding is there would not be time between now and December 1, and this is so many ifs, to have you adopt that statute and go through all the there's not time before December 1 to make that happen. There is an alternative path, which is called, I think, a voluntary agreement, which does involve conversation and agreement and this, that, and the other. So Superintendent Modesto of Frontier is working with our attorney, because they use the same firm, to arrange a group call with superintendents with counsel to walk us through what would need to happen. So we are working pretty much on all cylinders. I'm sorry for my back. All cylinders to get up to speed. I don't think there is any action for school committee to take at this time. Michelle, if you believe otherwise, I would love to. We are gathering information. We will bring it to you. The next meeting of school committee is October 16th. If we were determined to determine as admin that we need an action quicker, I will contact the chair and ask for a special session that I'm sure could be online. There's one more piece I want to say to you. Taffy, Mrs. Bassett Fox, has requested information from the GIT about our claim history. It is taking them several weeks because of the volume of requests and the way the information has to be gathered from Blue Cross Blue Shield. We have taken an initial look at the insurance plans offered by the GIC. We will send you a link to the two benefit guides that matter the most. The GIC offers 8 insurance plans. At least 4 to 6 of them are available in Franklin County. And we looked up on Franklin Bay State, and we saw that, yes, Franklin Bay State. And, we've got multiple health insurance, healthcare people around us. So we are working to gather all the information we can. I think it's probably time for us to have a sit down, and I'll just tell you everything we've learned. And that's where we are. It was a lot of information. What questions?
I have a question. Do folks in the State House of Massachusetts know what's going on? And
Yeah.
is there any sign of financial relief for this
Yep.
region?
That's such a good question. And again, Ms. Girusso can weigh in. We had both Ms. Bassett Fox and Ms. Steinitz joined me last Friday at the monthly Connecticut Valley Superintendent's Roundtable, because both the Commissioner of Education and the Secretary of Education were present. It was my turn to represent the superintendent's group and get up and show them a map of all the affected towns. And I will share that have I shared that with school committee? No, we will share that map. It is startling. And you know how I made the map? I sat in my office and took out a Crayola marker and came up with lists of towns and colored every one orange. I will share that with you. It is startling. So we let them know. A small group of superintendents has been in touch with the governor's representative for Western Massachusetts. I keep looking. No, it's Kristen Aleko.
But she was involved with
Yep.
Ann and Joe.
The delegation, meaning our representatives and state senators, have been quite active on this, and I know they are talking with the state. We, as superintendents, have put forward a few ideas. For instance, there is something called runoff costs or tailing costs. I'm going to say this to the best of my ability, and Ms. Bassett Fox is going to correct me. And I realize I'm talking quite a bit as though we are going to leave. We don't know that yet. Tailing costs are, you're in insurance. Oh yeah, she owns an insurance. Yeah, she's going to correct me. Okay, let's say we leave the GIC on June 30th. No, the HCGIT. We join the GIC on July 1. Any claims for health care that occurred before July 1 but were not paid for, submitted, so were not submitted by the provider, become the district's responsibility. So if there were a few surgeries in June and the healthcare provider didn't submit those to the HCGIT, once we leave, those are our runoff claims, and we are responsible for those, and there's an 18-month period in which we are responsible for those. So that causes one to pause. We do have what's called a claim reserve. That is money that this district put into the HCGIT in almost like a little bank account. We currently have 342,000.
About 325,000.
325.
In it.
We are not sure, though, that is actually the amount that it should be. That is our current balance. the executive director of the HCGIT has told us that they have dipped into those claim reserve funds to pay for ongoing costs. So Ms. Bassett-Fox is asking for clarification. What was our beginning balance and what should it be? One idea is, might the state entertain the establishment of a loan fund? Kind of like a line of credit, when, for a second, not a second mortgage, but a home equity line of credit, that member units of the HCGIT who choose to go to Maya or the GIC could tap into if they have extraordinary healthcare costs in that runoff period. No idea. We've put it forward. The elected to whom I mentioned it said, yes, that is an idea that is under discussion. The state is not going to come in and save anybody. I think that's clear. Yeah. What else would be helpful?
Just, first of all, my appreciation to everybody who's been working so hard on a crisis not of our own making in any way. And I apologize also if I'm not completely up to date on all the details that have been shared. So I do recall, though, looking at chronologic set of percentage increases among different plans, and it seems as though our current plan had sort of relatively flat increases, and then they jumped.
Mm-hmm.
And so I guess one question I have is, if one were to have had more gradual increases, would we be in the same position we're in now?
No.
No.
Yeah, one would hope we would not be.
Okay, so may I ask, do we know sort of the marginal difference between increases from other plans and the increase of our plan over, let's say, the past 5 years?
That question was asked. So are you, let me see are you asking in one way, the Hampshire County Group Insurance Trust had 3 years of no increase to premiums. The following year had a 2% decrease in the premiums, and then I think a 6% and 8%, and now a 35%.
Yes.
What is the increase history of a plan of a insurance carrier like the GIC?
Correct, and also because if they have year-over-year increases that are, say, 10%, then the next year is going to be 10% on top of that existing aggregate amount. So
Yes.
You can get to a very quick increase with more gradual increases, as we all know from.
We have asked, that's the exact question asked of the GIC today, and they're sending that out to us. An enormous difference between the HCGIT and the GIC is the GIC is run by the Commonwealth. There are 400-something thousand subscribers. That we are in one that has 12,500 subscribers. The Commonwealth self-insures. So the Commonwealth says, we will pay. If there's a claim that, the Commonwealth backs it up. There's less flexibility with the GIC. There are higher deductibles and copays with the GIC. There's 8 plans, but we were a little surprised today at how similar the 8 plans are in terms of copays and deductibles.
Right, and that's why I'd be a little surprised qualitatively and quantitatively that you'd have massive differences among plans if they're all operating with roughly the same broker through Blue Cross or otherwise. So anyway, as we have our decision-making unfold, to me, one question is, well, comparatively, are we within a few percentage points, even though it was a catastrophic sort of sudden, sharp shock? And then the other would be, to your question, Superintendent, sort of your initial question, which is, what's our level of full faith and credit in the existing arrangement?
That's right.
And that is not trivial. So I appreciate very much all your.
And that is, I
work.
think, for some of us, the bigger question. Will the HCGIT remain solvent?
Right.
That is, to me, and I recognize this is a big statement, I am concerned about the solvency, and what I observed today in the presentation did not assuage my concerns.
Thank you.
And I would just add, I think a lot of people now are looking at this. This has been operating the same way. They said 70 years. I mean, how do I say this? And with very little change in the way they look at things or the way they can't give us answers about the future. Like if you ask them, do you think, this 20% is going to last and be okay? Or you think we'll have another increase in January? And they said, we don't know. And that doesn't make any of us feel comfortable.
No.
So we're not swaying one way or the other, but
Thank you.
I think it's not just the schools
Mm.
feeling that.
Oh, sure.
Because all the towns are impacted by the FERCog, by tech school, by various things that feed into us. So we're seeing the increases. So we're all looking at that very closely.
Yeah.
I just want to add, we had some information that the GIC had a 90-day waiting period for new employees, not for us. We would start July 1, and we would be covered. And then it was if you were hired July 2nd as a brand-new employee, you would have to wait 90 days. And that was difficult to hear. We did ask for clarification today, and they said that it's not that. If you are hired on July 1, new employee, you are covered on that day. If you are hired, let's say, July 17th, you are covered on August 1st.
Yeah.
So there is a little bit of waiting period, but it is not drastic like we thought it was. So that's a bit of good news.
At most, it would be less than a month.
Yes.
I just wanted to share that I attended last week a meeting, MTA, where most of the unions got together, a very large meeting with almost all of the 69 union presidents. And I was able to attend, and it was an eye-opening conversation, lots of notes. Much of what you said today is similar. They're sharing documents with us. They've also met with HGIT, and I share your fears and concerns based on what we're getting directly from HGIC's attorneys. So that was pretty eye-opening as well. And I don't want to misspeak, so I'd have to pull out the documents that I received before I said anything more. But I did share that with Renee and Claire, who were not able to attend the meeting. And I think that as a body, we're all going to have a lot of work in the next few months to make something happen to protect everyone that's in all 69. And I know we really only want to be concerned about all of us, but we're not. We're all a community supporting each other, and police and fire and all public service. And there is a way to remediate this, but boy, is it going to be a lot of work. And I think everyone should keep their eyes and ears to look for facts, because there's a lot of stuff coming out soon.
Thank you.
Good. Thanks. Anything else? Okay. All right. Moving on to the Six-Town Regionalization Planning Board. So for those of you who have seen some recent Recorder articles or have seen Facebook posts or other information that is being disseminated, the Six-Town is going to be hosting information sessions, as they're calling them, in the local towns for community members to go and listen to what the potential plan is. I encourage everyone on the committee to spend some time, if you haven't already, going to the sixtowns.org webpage, where they have all of their reports to review. They also have a YouTube channel that have all of their meetings recorded. I have watched every single one, including this week's meeting, which was 2 hours long. And so kind of getting into the know of what their position is and sharing the information brings us into the conversation, brings us as residents of our towns, as us as school committee members. And so a couple things I will share first for community and for you guys, just some dates if you want to write down. So I literally have the sixtowns.org website pulled up right now. I am reading from here. So if there's an error, it is from this website. Northfield, I'm going to start with just our 3 towns. I'm not going to go into the other towns. So Northfield is hosting Thursday, September 25th at 6 p.m. at the Dickinson Memorial Library, an information session. Same place on Saturday, October 18th at 10 a.m. Same place, Thursday, October 30th at 6 p.m. So there's going to be 3 informational sessions in Northfield. The post that went onto social media also included Bernardston residents to go to that also. There is no Bernardston information session at this point. There is one in Leiden, Tuesday, September 30th at 6 p.m. at the town offices.
Oh, that's going to be changed to town hall.
Okay, that's going to be changed to the town hall.
And what time
Yep.
is that?
So that one is 6 p.m.
And that's a forum. That's not a
Sorry.
sit-down.
So, correct. So Leiden, Tuesday, September 30th, 6 p.m., town hall. Okay. So I'm getting lots of questions as Melissa parent, as Melissa school committee chair. And so what I want to share with you guys and remind you guys is you are, as residents of your town, open to have your opinions, open to do your research. I want to be mindful that in our discourse that we are always respectful and that ideas are talked about and not people. So I have seen already throughout social media, specific people have been targeted as being pointed out. So ideas, right? I have complete confidence that we can have mature opinions about this, but be just aware of how those conversations take place. We have not made a statement yet of our school committee. Part of that is me waiting to see their full district agreement, which in one of the documents said that when they are going to send it out to the towns, they were going to be sending it to the school committees also. We haven't received anything. I don't know whether the towns have received the district agreement yet. I know that it's still being looked at by DESE. So I would also like to ask Patricia and possibly Taffy and other designees. I've got some questions about enrollment and what does our enrollment look like, and if you could put together some statistics or some talking points that would be helpful that we don't have the data for, of maybe some common questions that you think we would be asked. I know a staff member has already asked me, how do I reply to such and such question? And I said, hold on, we're going to be putting out some information, from Pioneer's side, because this was decided by the townspeople. This was not decided by our school district. And so any type of assumption that Pioneer Valley Regional School District is in support or against this merger, we have not formally said. Okay. Questions, comments? Let's open it up for some discussion.
I saw those social media posts, and it's actually difficult to actually see what the climate is of the community.
Yep.
Because on their page specifically, they deactivated comments.
Yep.
And so that's really weird. Like it's really hard when you read the information that they're posting.
Mm-hmm.
It makes it seem more concrete and like accepted as a community.
Correct.
But I don't believe that if comments were allowed on their site, that we would see.
So I
It's
want
interesting.
I want to be clear.
Yeah.
Are you talking about the Six-Town Regionalization
Yes.
Facebook page?
Yes, 100%.
Okay. So the Six-Town Regionalization has a Facebook page in which their comments are turned off.
Yeah,
And so that is common.
it is. But it's hard to see. It's hard to actually feel what the community. It'll be interesting to go to all these meetings to see what people actually feel. about
Correct.
it.
So
Yeah.
so I was looking at things also, and there was a newspaper article recently that was about the Six-Town merger, and there was 57 followers of the Six-Town Facebook page. There's now 66 or 67 as I've looked. So if we want to talk about potential people gaining this information, there's been shares, but I don't know how in depth the community knows. When we look at YouTube, on their videos, you've got a range from 6 views, of which I am probably 3 or 4 because I watch these multiple times, to 34 views. So I don't know their traction, right? But it's hit our doorstep. It's here. Yeah.
I don't know if you saw it, but there was also a letter to the editor in the Montague Reporter this week, which I can send you a copy of.
Yes. Okay.
From a former member of their finance committee. So
Yeah.
there's a lot more work needs to be done.
Yes. So I read that. So there is a couple articles. So there is a in the Montague Reporter, there is a couple articles recently. One of them was from a former Six-Town representative who was on the committee, who is no longer on the committee, I believe, if I'm correct, who wrote.
I think that's right.
Mike Naughton was a former chair of the finance committee.
Mike Knott, right, but he was also on the Six-Town. So Mike Naughton wrote the article. He was part of the committee. He is not part of the committee anymore. He has written some questions about moving this forward. There was also another article in the Montague Reporter, "Oh Pioneer, Kinsella Gets Her Say." So it was
Is that Willa Cather?
It is.
Yeah.
Written by Chip Ainsworth. It reads more of like a little bit of a bio of Patricia, but then there is a section about the super regionalization in the bottom that is there. And then this doesn't have anything to do with the Six-Town, but it does also. There was a newspaper article about Pioneer ushering in the school year with new classes. It was posted, well, it was in the Recorder, but it was also posted on Facebook. And if you go and you look at that article and you look at the comments underneath, they're so supportive and proud of Pioneer, local families who are choicing into the district, who are just saying wonderful things about the district. So it was really nice to hear that. So you will be seeing press, right, about this. Yeah, go ahead.
Thank you very much, and thanks to all who've been following this for several years now. And I appreciate being one of the community members who contributed to an article also with the title something in the order of Pioneer is just the right size,
right,
the way we are. And I guess I would, I do wonder, for the committee, school committee, I'll speak for myself as a resident. and thinking that Pioneers is thankfully, thanks to a lot of hard work and sweat equity and town support, and incredible staff and leadership, Pioneer is doing well.
Right.
I think I just want to be full-throated about that. And it's just not customary for entities and organizations that are doing well to change their entire governance and merge with anything. And so I'm not thinking, based on all of the exhaustive evidence that I reviewed before writing that article and that are in the public domain, there's nothing in a district agreement that would be persuasive persuasive that suddenly a merger is a great idea.
Right.
So I do wonder as a school committee if there is a overall sense that Pioneer stands well on its own in its own way.
Yeah.
Though we do not have a finalized district agreement proposal from DESE, I wonder why not have a provisional vote that says something in the order of like, hey, we're doing fine. We're having long-term planning committee.
Yeah.
We're looking at other things that are long-term for this district because
Yeah.
we're a healthy and vibrant district. And further details coming don't really affect that position.
Right.
So I guess to make myself a little more cogent, would there be the possibility of a committee sentiment prior to further detail, just given that we've had now 5 years of details,
Yeah.
and the circumstances are radically different than they were when the 6-town planning board was put together.
Yeah. I hear that. I think that, I have lots of questions that I feel like have not been answered. So I'm going to be going to, these sessions because what I'm also nervous about and afraid is that there may be statements made about Pioneer that are not from Pioneer. That is not from us. They're not, the data was from 2021 or, right? So if statements are made, teachers believe or teachers say this. Well, if you look at the data, there was, I believe, 3 teachers that participated from Pioneer, of which one of our various students said, do they even work here anymore? Which is a great point, right? So when this data was created, right, we are, like you said, in a very different space. I don't know. What does our committee feel like we want to come up with some type of statement tonight? Do we want to wait until next meeting? Definitely next meeting it's going to be on the agenda because I'm hoping that they will have the district agreement out by that point if they're planning on doing a vote in November, right? Like their agreement's going to have to be out by October. What is it, 16th? Is our next school committee meeting?
Yeah, 16th.
The 16th, right? Right, it has to be on a warrant. They're 45 days, there's stuff that has to happen for that. I think it would also be really helpful for us as a school committee to see the district agreement and highlight things like the differences between how Gill Elementary School is being treated and Bernardston and Northfield and Warwick and Hillcrest are not being treated equally on the same stance within the district agreement.
Yes, thank you. So if we had these details prior to the next meeting, that would be
Yeah.
helpful. And
Yes.
if I thought that falling down and breaking my leg was a bad idea.
Yep.
Reading different ways that I could fall down and break my leg
Mhm.
won't change my sense that that's a bad idea.
Right.
And
Correct.
so
I agree.
I do
I agree.
wonder that details of
Yep.
how A talks to B in an agreement
Yep.
aren't as salient as, is this good for Pioneer and for the
Right.
towns of Pioneer
Right.
and students, future students? So,
Yes.
thank you.
Any other thoughts?
Maybe we, as many of us, go to these info sessions as possible. And then, because this September 26th is before our next meeting,
Yep.
maybe we can have an official statement vote
Yes.
in the next meeting with more information from that.
Yes. That's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping that if we, not only, I've asked Patricia and Taffy to get some data. If you have particular data or questions that you would like to be researched or you would like at your fingertips from Patricia or Taffy, please let me know and I will relay it. But, you know, I had someone say to me, you know, in 2 years, the 9th grade class is going to be 10 kids. And I said, where did you hear that from? And it was from someone in the community who is sharing information that I don't know where they're getting that information from, right? And so making sure that there's accurate information out there for everybody is really important. So again, I encourage you to, if you're an auditory learner, the YouTube videos are there. I suggest putting it on a 1.5 or 2.0 speed on some of the the meetings, and I think it's here. So we will be getting questions, and I just want you guys to feel free to share and express your opinion and learn, because people will be coming and asking us for information. And they're looking for it. They want Pioneer to share that information out. So, anything else I missed?
Melissa, I know,
It's our next.
yeah,
Yep.
but if there are going to be a number of school committee members attending the 9:25 gathering at Dickinson Library, you might want to post it.
Okay.
Or if members don't talk, but it's probably safer to post it.
Okay.
Would you like us to do that?
Let's see. So does anyone know yet if they're planning on, let me know by email.
Okay.
Let me know by email if you're planning on attending. And then if I get enough responses, we will post. And then what we'll have to do is right before any of the meetings that this happens, we just have to call our meeting to order quickly and then go in and have the,
Is it Thursday the 25th or Friday the 26th?
so according to this, it's Thursday, September 25th
Okay.
at 6 p.m. at Dickinson Memorial Library. So that brings us right into the next, oh, are we done? Sorry, for the sixth town. Okay. That brings us into the next, the Leiden Forum on Public Education. We were invited by the town of Leiden to come to a forum, as they're saying, 15 minutes to give a
I
presentation.
didn't know. Okay.
Yeah, there was a
Okay, that's great.
15 minutes slideshow we are able to do presentation. It is not a debate. They have invited the sixth town, and they have invited us, and they have invited the tech school also. Is that correct, Michelle? And the tech school. So 3 different districts are there to talk about education within our districts. The Leiden Life shared this. So what I really like,
It's up on the
we
screen.
don't have anything in Bernardston like this. I wish we did. But they have a newsletter, and this is what the newsletter said.
Do you want to give it to you?
Yeah, can I see this? Leiden is one of the towns in the Pioneer Valley Regional School District with Bernardston and Northfield. In the past 2 years, Warwick left the district. The enrollment of students continues to decrease while costs are increasing. The ability to provide a variety of classroom, cultural, and sports experiences is challenging, and state assistance is inadequate for our rural schools, although our state representatives are working on our behalf. The 6-town school district regionalization project has a report on this issue on page 5. You will be asked to vote soon on how to provide the best public school experience while keeping costs to the town within our ability to pay now and into the future. It is not easy to keep up with what is happening. So to inform and begin this discussion, a forum on the challenges to rural school education will be held Tuesday, September 30th at 6 p.m. Please plan on attending whether you have or do not have students in our public schools. So that is the framework that was provided to the town residents of Leiden about the forum. So if that helps shed any light onto that. There it is. Okay. Anything else that we should know, Michelle, about the public forum? Okay. All right. Yeah. Yeah, go ahead.
I don't mean to.
No, please, feel free.
Yeah. So I am struck here that because this is a very thoughtful description
Yeah.
of rural districts in the Commonwealth.
Yep.
Ourselves included. The framing here is one that I share. I mean, this is, I think, one that we all want to be aware of and thoughtful about and cogent and good stewards of the common trust among the towns for our students and their families. I would just note that the second sentence, the past 2 years, the enrollment of students continues to decrease while costs are increasing, isn't necessarily is true in one regard, and yet the 6-town plan does not change the cost structure in terms of reducing costs. And the 6-town planning group has said this. So I think this paragraph would read differently if the idea of decreasing costs or cost pressures was not part of the paragraph, because the 6-town proposal does not address or change the need for or change the direction of costs for the districts. Right. So just want to point that out, and also if I were a town member and hadn't been looking at this as I needed to for this piece, that it's striking that this is not part of the deal. Part of the deal is not reducing costs.
Right.
If there were to be adopted a 6-town plan.
Right. Right. Yes. And that did come out at the last meeting that took place Tuesday night, I believe. They went over the new formula that came out, and it showed, and 6-town does say, and they say from the beginning that it wasn't a cost reduction movement, which
I reviewed their minutes, and that's not true.
Correct. Yes. So, and towns, and I could be wrong, but it looked like the formula that they had voted on, it looked like Leiden's percentage was going up by 6%, I think.
For a short time.
Right. But
It's in our
Yeah,
something that
yeah,
we
so,
don't have children
so we don't,
in
you know,
town, you know.
right, right. I found it striking how it was framed, you know, about our district.
Did she cite her information? So apparently Light and Life is not an official town publication.
Right.
And the editorial team is Carolyn Asbury, Annie Garvey, Lisa Lamont, and Cornelia Reed.
Yeah.
So I wonder if, do they have citations of where they get certain things, or I wonder if they'll certainly be at that meeting.
I would have,
No, they don't write it.
That's what it's-
People submit. what
Can you
they
use
want.
your-
Oh, sorry.
Oh, it says that they're the editors of it. I just wonder,
they
if
just
things are just
Make
submitted.
it look nice.
Oh.
so someone submitted this on our behalf?
No,
Yes,
So someone from the town.
No, that's what I'm
submitted it?
saying. Like, someone submitted this,
yes.
Not them.
but it's not,
before.
But
not the
Not
editors.
the editors. Okay, my
Right.
apologies.
Edited it.
My apologies.
Right. It's just a volunteer newsletter that's been there over 30 years.
Oh, okay.
so who,
And they change the
Mm.
editors maybe yearly, believe me. It's
Right.
very volunteer.
So
Oh,
where-
sorry,
so
I
where-
apologize. I didn't
so
mean to-
where would you say this framing came from?
That's kind of what I'm wondering, yeah.
Who would have written
It's
this?
the select board report.
Oh, part of the select
Oh,
board
the
report.
Oh, I see.
report.
Okay,
Oh,
my
okay.
The
apologies.
select,
If you look at the whole,
yes, we have the whole thing.
I'm
because
sorry
it
about that.
because
Okay.
it talks about how,
every committee can submit something.
so this came from the select board.
Thank you. My apologies.
No, that's good.
my
Yeah.
So I agree with Melissa. I love Light and Life. I get it delivered. I would encourage folks who are interested to sign up. It's a great example of a small town newsletter that lets you know what's going on. I wish Northfield had one.
Yeah, I wish Bernardston
It's
did, yeah.
fantastic. I would like to note that in addition to that particular, I am going to say negative framing of Pioneer, on the front page of this most recent issue of Light and Life is mention of the HCGIT crisis and discussion that it sounds like the select board might be calling a town meeting to consider having to raise money to pay for the Oh, that's what I read on the front page. And they mention the schools as, you know, the schools are facing it. What they don't mention is that the schools made the courageous and responsible and difficult decision not to seek additional money from our towns to help us pay for this cost increase. We tightened our belt and we cut many lines and we cut some positions. And I am a little disappointed that when Leiden talked about we're going to have to possibly figure out how to raise money because the budget for the town has been already appropriated for the year and the schools are facing it, I feel it would have been collaborative for there to be some mention that we are grateful to the school district for managing the extraordinary increase in costs in the hundreds of thousands on their own and not coming to the towns to seek more. That's just my thought when I read it.
Yep. So the just to restate, the Leiden Forum is not a debate. So it's us to just share information. Patricia and I will be the spokes people running the.
And Mrs. Scanlon, Amy, and Ms. Burstein will be joining us.
Yeah.
As
Yep.
to just
And
an
we will,
administrative show of
yeah,
support.
and we will be posting this as a school committee because we are thinking that our Leiden members will be there. So we'll make sure that this will be posted.
I just would say thanks to the group hosting this. I think this is a very thoughtful
Yeah.
way of exchanging ideas.
Yeah.
And very grateful for that proactivity
Yeah.
and thoughtfulness.
Okay. Enrollment
All
update.
right, let's see if I've turned that machine off too many times. Oh, no, good. Okay, you have the enrollment in front of you. Let's look at the blue sheet first. So you'll see that it says 9-9. I asked Ms. Bocon to update from 9-1 because there is so much movement at the end of August and beginning of September. So you will see that we have, as of the 9th, 565 students overall, and that is a decrease from September 24 of 15 students overall. That's the big picture. I've been trying to think of an analogy. I am not a mechanic. I'm pretty good with furniture finishing, but anything that's metal, I'm not so good with. Like, I can't do cars, but here's the analogy I'm thinking of. Even I know this. if we're looking at, if one is looking to buy a new car, you look under the hood. All right? So let's look under the hood a little bit, and I will draw your attention to the slide. And we'll share these slides in the packet tomorrow. There are some really interesting enrollment changes in the district. So, for instance, at Pioneer in June, we had 24 students enrolled in this building through school choice. That increased by 57% over the summer. We've now got 36 kids. That's an extraordinary increase. That's part of the story. Part of the big picture here is this building is doing well with getting more students. We've got this super small junior and senior class. They are the lagging indicators of Pioneer's former nadir. Is the nadir the bottom part? I keep looking at you for the vocabulary. Like, Steve, did I get it right? Good choice. Right, good choice. Yeah, thank you. Nadir. Okay, the nadir. All right. I think that's so interesting. Check out bullet point number 2. Our grade 7 cohort, which in June was in grade 6, increased by 32% from June. We graduated 47 students from BES and NES, but we've got 62 kids enrolled in grade 7, right? That's really something. Half of the students from Gill Elementary's 6th grade class came here. None of the Gill Elementary students enrolled in Great Falls Middle School. That is confirmed from an administrator in Gill Montague. We care about our neighboring districts. We want a successful public education ecosystem, and in the current context of a 6-town regionalization planning board, it is something to note that students at Gill this year, and some of those are the families posting on Facebook saying, we're thrilled to be at Pioneer. Item number 3. Okay. Pioneer, this building, has a decrease of 4 students from June 2025, but that is a despite, because our prior senior class had 36 kids, and we've got this small legacy class of 16. That's a decrease of 20 kids, but the enrollment has gone down by only 4 kids. That means we're bringing in plenty of kids. When we look at all the buildings from June to September, BES is actually up 2 more kids. Their enrollment as of today is 203 students. We lost a number of students at NES. There was some shakeout there. Part of that is that Warwick opened up some school choice seats. They had held off. You'll recall, we have not opened up school choice seat at NES because of a concern around having Warwick kids come to us, and we would forfeit tuition when they came to Pioneer some years later. The landscape has changed. Maybe there's a different conversation this winter. In preschool, so this is looking under the hood, right? We're looking at those small legacy classes. Preschool, we increased 1 student. Now that could shake out differently, but in general what that means is the replacement class coming in preschool is the same size as the preschool of the prior year. So that's moving up. That's good. I'm now going to go to some things. Check this out. Looking under the hood, Pioneer is the place where we need to keep our eyes trained, and the lower grades at Pioneer. Our current cohort in 7 through 9 is the largest cohort in 6 years. Right? Say that again, the largest cohort in 6 years. That bodes well as these classes move up, especially when you check this out. Our retention rate, grade 8 through 9, increased this year by 13 percentage points. We are within striking distance of keeping 2/3 of the kids. If we keep 2/3 of the kids, we're now talking about classes of at least 45 kids in the high school. Now, if this retention, now we've got 4 years in a row of increased retention. We've got bigger classes coming up. We've got an improving retention rate. We've got more kids coming to us from school choice, and the Winchester School Board signed that tuition agreement last week. Mrs. Scanlon, Amy, and Ms. Carney will be heading up to Winchester to recruit. Right, we might get only a few kids, but this, when you look under, this is the picture I think, I know I want to see. More people coming from outside, increasing the number of kids, improving academic program, the excitement of trips like the Washington, D.C. trip. Who else gets their kids out building fire from friction on the school campus, right? So that's part of the overall enrollment picture. I think that's, yeah, I'm going to wait.
Thank you.
That's very helpful context.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great. Thanks for doing that.
These are some of the numbers that I alluded to earlier. Staff member had asked about
Yeah.
enrollment numbers, right?
I'll share
what
the
is
slides. You know, I've said it before, I'm not a Facebook maven. I am paying more attention to Facebook because of this business right now, the regionalization. And people send me screenshots. I did see a screenshot from someone saying, if the high school gets too small, the state will take it over. I have no idea what someone might be talking about. I've been in public education in this state for over 30 years. That's not a thing. Let me just be really clear. And you get to quote Superintendent Kinsella. That's not a thing, okay? It is not a thing. So this is where we're looking. Thanks. All right. Equally exciting about new educators?
Mm-hmm.
So you've got the staff changes there. And there's one I want to point, yeah. Yeah.
Before we move on, I was wondering, I meant to ask about this last year, if we could have a breakout of what grades all the tuition kids are in?
Yeah, we can share that, sure.
And then also of the senior class of who's actually sitting in the classroom versus dual enrollment. at
Yeah, sure.
UCC, because I've been asked, as a graduation, the valedictorian said she didn't spend any time here on campus. She was a dual enrollment person.
Sure.
So they
So
were watching.
grades.
Pardon? Not for her senior year. Right. No, that's what she said, her senior year. She was not on campus with.
And I think I can answer the dual enrolled question. I think we have 2 students who are fully dual enrolled. I'm almost certain about that. But I think we have 2 students who are dual enrolled. But Michelle, we'll get that information, of course.
Okay.
Of
It
course.
would be better, to see the breakouts as we're talking numbers.
Okay, we can provide that. All right. I do want to point out, and this is my clerical error, last month we should have included the reduction of the secondary school library position. And that was the position reduced due to the insurance crisis. And that was a heartbreaking decision. Enough said. Okay, check this out. We hired an occupational therapist the other day. So we have 9 new educators, including the BCBA, that's a board certified behavior analyst. We have 9 new educators. Only one of these people is a brand new teacher. That is unheard of. Again, I'm pointing to my gray hair. And I was a full-time mentor in the Boston Public Schools for 4 years. The world of new educators was my professional world for 4 years in Boston, pre-K through 12. I loved that gig. The average years of experience of the other folks is 10. This is an incredible testament to how attractive this district has become for experienced educators, where they are willing to leave other positions to come join us. Now, part of that is because we pay for years of experience. There are places that will not pay year for year, and so folks don't come. Thank goodness there's no policy here preventing me from making that decision. Some of these folks are expensive, and our belief is when we hire the best, when we hire people with experience who come in, they can be immediate contributing colleagues, and they help elevate the practice of everyone around them. It is worth it to put our money into our people. And I would like to say that is the same thing with our colleagues in the PVASP, our support personnel. We give credit for prior years of experience because we want to bring in people who can elevate the practice. So I'm so proud of this district and our existing faculty, because when people come to interview, they interview not just with principals, but with existing teachers. And they are coming away saying, wow, I want to be here. So that's my update.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yep.
Okay. Executive session. So, I will accept a motion to enter into executive session according to Mass General Law, Chapter 30A, subsection 21A3, to discuss strategy with respect to collective bargaining with the Teachers Association if an open meeting may have a detrimental effect on the bargaining position of the public body and the chair so declares, to return to open session.
So moved.
Second.
Okay? And we need to do a roll call vote to go into executive session. Good night. Thank you.
Good night, thank you.
Michelle Russo, yes.
Melissa Osborne, yes.
Raina Dastu, yes.
Gretchen Kelton, yes.
Stephen Martin, yes.
Melissa Gary, yes. Okay.
Bring in
Oh, we are also bringing in Patricia Kinsella, Taffy Bassett Fox, and Ann Harding.
Great.
Okay, and welcome back. I will accept a motion to approve the MOA with the PVREA therapy dog handler.
So moved.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, yes, that was unanimous. All right, other business not anticipated by the chair at the time of posting. I don't have anything. Does anyone have anything? No, okay. Upcoming meetings, we have the school committee with the Leiden Forum on Public Education on September 30th at 6 o'clock. And then our next scheduled school committee meeting is October 16th, 2025 at 6 o'clock. And then I also sent an email to the budget subcommittee today about starting to get that rolling in October. Yep. So,
No breaks.
yep. So no breaks. Okay. I will accept a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. All right. We are done. Thank you.
Thank you.